So most new entrepreneurs, they start a business and then they give up because they don't see results in that specific business, or they change their niche. And a lot of them like have the capacity to actually make it work. And the biggest thing that is holding them back is that they change their like business, or they change their niche in a specific business too often, and they give like a very short amount of time to that business to actually work. So first of all, let's take like changing your business. So every time you change your business, it's obviously like you restart everything. You need to learn everything from scratch, and you need to like give it like a few months to work out. And if you don't give it enough time, like it's not going to work. And most people don't give it enough time, and they do this because they expect to get with their business like to their goal too fast. And let's say they give themselves like 6 months to learn about this business and then apply what they learn. So let's say like 2 months they learn everything they need to know, and then like 4 months they go and apply it. And 4 months is a very short time frame to make a business work and get to like your goals. Especially if you have like big goals to get like to $100,000 in profit in 4 months. That's not really going to happen if you don't have like past experience. And so they give their business like 4 months to work. It doesn't work in 4 months, they don't make any money, and then instead of like pushing even harder and learning from their mistakes and learning and applying what they learned from their mistakes, they hear about like another business. So let's say, for example, they had an AI automation agency and they tried it for 4 months, as I said, and then it doesn't work. They didn't give it enough time. So, and then they look on Instagram and they notice a lot of people that are in the e-commerce, like branded e-commerce niche, and then they think like, let me just give it a try. So they try that business, and they give it like this time they only give it 3 months because they see a lot of people that made it work like very fast, and they think like it's possible to make it work, like it's possible to get like to 50K per month in just 3 months. So they give it 3 months, and then after 3 months they only make like a few $100 per month. And then they hear about trading, they give trading like a few months. And the point that I'm trying to make here is that they won't get anywhere by changing their business to everything that they hear about. And after some time they notice that everything they want to start doesn't really work, and then they finally give up, and like they tell themselves being an entrepreneur is pretty much impossible. And that's because they didn't give enough time to like each business in part. So if they were to like start their first business, like as I said in my example, like maybe they have an agency, they started the agency, and then if they were to give that agency like 2 years to work, the chances to make it work were a lot bigger. But instead, they change their business like every 3 months, and they want to start 8 businesses in just 2 years. When instead, if they gave like one business 2 years, the chances overall would be bigger for that business to work than for those 8 businesses to make one of those businesses work. And this isn't just about like changing your whole business. It's also about changing your niche in your business, or changing the service that you're providing in a business. Because if you have like, let's say you have an agency, because that's the example that I can think about now, and you change your niche from like medical clinics to like gym owners, like it's a whole different thing. Like those those two niches are completely different, and you will need to learn everything from scratch about how gym owners work, because they are totally different in how medical clinics work. So it's pretty much as you were to start another business, but it's not really that big of a difference, because maybe you're still providing the same service and some things remain the same, but you still need to learn like a lot of things about like gym owners if you were to come from medical clinics. And this whole thing from changing your business to just changing your niche or your service, it's actually like categorized as shiny object syndrome. So you see something working for someone else and you try it yourself, it doesn't work. So you go to the next thing, then you try so many things that you categorize this whole entrepreneurial thing as something that doesn't work for you. And I know a lot of people, maybe not personally, but I saw lots of people like on social media, or people that tell me that they want to buy a course and they want to start this business, and then in like 6 months, they stopped trying. And I'm saying this because I have my business now for nearly 2 years, and I still didn't give up, even though like I right now I only make like a few $100s per month, and I'm still putting in the work. I'm still learning from my mistakes, and even though like now I see a lot of people that want to start a specific business, I keep telling myself that this business isn't the right thing, because I need to know everything from scratch for this business, and I need to like leave everything about my business just to start this business, because like having two businesses is even like it's even worse than just changing your niche, or your business. But that's a story for another day. So I won't go into this business because I have my own agency. So for example, right now I see a lot of people like in this period that start on a branded e-commerce business, and I see a lot of like young guys that made it work, but I know that they put a lot of work in. So it's not like they started their e-commerce business and it worked in 2 months. And I know that, but most people don't see this and they don't pay attention to this. And they have their own business right now, and they see people that make, like young guys, like teenagers, that make hundreds of thousands of dollars in revenue per month, and they think like it's that easy, so let me try it, when instead it's a lot of work that they put in and that most people don't see. So for me, it's better to stuck with my business that I have right now, which is an agency, and don't fall into this shiny object syndrome that a lot of people have and go and start an e-commerce brand just because a few teenagers made it work. So as a conclusion, if you have a business, give it like a few years to work out, and don't get discouraged if it doesn't work out in a few months, because it usually takes a lot longer for a business to work. And if you change your business, it's not going to get better. Like I promise you, it's not going to get better. And I know a lot of people that try this and they're even worse than they were before. So just give it some time. And if you like this video, give it a like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.